Good evening. Good evening, and those on Zoom also. Welcome to this Thursday evening session. Maybe we can start with a moment of silence. Thank you. Today's topic is about the power of benevolent intentions, and a power where there is communication without words. Have you experienced that? We live in a world where there is a lot of noise, lots of words, lots of sound, of course, lots of noise, but also lots of information. And even more so since the whole era of internet began and everything is online. There's so much information coming to us. And we ourselves put out so much information, receive so much information and put out. I was reminded of my grandparents. There was a time when my grandmother lived in Holland, in the Netherlands, and my grandfather used to live for a while for a project in New Zealand. This was in the 50s, 60s, 1950s, 60s. So my grandfather will write a letter Those days, you still wrote a letter on paper with pen, and he will write a letter over what he did and what is going on in the last few weeks. And it took 6 months to reach Holland. So my grandmother receives it and she writes back, and it takes another 6 months to reach back to my grandfather. And of course, occasionally there was something like telex or something what they used to do. And we can't even phantom that anymore. No? You text something and the same second it reaches. And the next second you hear ping and you get a reply, and it goes like that. And so we live in a world where information goes like this all over. And most of that information is through words, through sound, through concepts. But because there is so much emphasis on words, so much emphasis on the transference of information through concept and through words, we pay less attention to other forms of communication. And maybe other forms of communication are actually what we are also longing for. Because the way we are not just words. We are not just words and ideas and concepts. So what we give and share with one another is not just what we say. It is also who we are, what we feel, our attitude, our vibrations. That is also what is part of our interaction. And behind our words, there is this attitude. It means there is an attitude. Behind our words, there are certain intentions. And they are a big part, actually, of our interaction with each other. But many times we pay very little attention to that. And when we write, well, these days we just write so quickly with lots of errors often. We need autocorrect in our messages even. But do we also autocorrect our intentions and our feelings behind the message? Because that also gets communicated. And if we are not aware, it still goes through. Even if the other is not conscious, we still receive each other's energy that is behind the verbal and the communication through words or concepts. Have you had any experience with this? Everyone is silent. Is that part of the experience? Silent communication. I forgot to bring the write-up. I just wanted to read it for everyone again. Just give me a moment. And so the title of the lecture today is a bit different than we are used to, but still very interesting and compelling. Beyond words, the silent power of benevolent intentions. Delve or explore the impact of unspoken well-wishing. And the silent but powerful force that lies within our intentions and that can influence our lives and our relationships. So the key here is unspoken well-wishing. So this whole area of our mind, our words, where do they come from? I'll just go over to the board. It will help to clarify things. Our words, where do they come from? When you speak, where do you what you speak? Where does
From
it
our
come
thoughts.
from your thoughts? Very good. Anything else?
From our feelings.
From your feelings? Yeah, we have certain thoughts, we have certain feelings, and that we express, for example, through words. What
It
else?
comes from your intentions.
Sorry?
It comes from your intention also, what you want to achieve, and then sometimes you use different word depending on your intentions.
Yeah, from your intention. Very good. Anything else?
From the hearts.
From our heart. Yeah. Anything else?
From our identification.
From our identifications, from our attachments. Yes.
Oh, it depends on what kind of thoughts.
What kind of thoughts? Yeah, well, whatever the kind of thoughts that will then manifest in our words also, no? Unless we pretend, we can also pretend, yeah, we may be sad, but we pretend to be happy and then say, or we may think, I don't like this person, but then we pretend to like them and we say things. But still, there are thoughts there, and a certain attitude is there, and deeper inside, a certain feeling and certain preferences and certain identifications are there, and that make us choose certain words or choose other words. But a mixture of all of that is what gets communicated. Because if you dislike someone, but you say nice words, there is still certain vibrations there that come across.
But we also speak with our eyes and we speak with our hand gestures, body language.
Yeah, our body language, our eyes, our physical posture also. Now we may be like this. Or we may be like this.
Yeah, crossing our hands, possibly, yes.
Or there is the whole body also speaks a certain language. I remember when I was little, there was this lady who used to, that time they used to read the news. Still, on a piece of paper, she used to read the news, but they were trained, how the face has to be, how they have to articulate, how the eyes have to be, how the mouth. But so the face was in a smile, but the eyes were not smiling. So this can be like this. The eyes are not smiling. I can't really do it, but the eyes are not smiling. So all of these are like expression forms. And we often do not realize the power of all these other forms of communication. And they impact our own mood, but also they impact the quality of our life and the quality of our interactions with others. But we live in a world that goes like this. And with like this, I want to say fast, 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 fast. If you have to draw your mind, what would it look like? Don't want to waste paper on it. If this is our mind, everyone can see. You can see well on the. Okay. Yeah, these days Zoom is part of the part of the class. So if this is our mind, if we could draw our mind, what would it look like? How would you visualize your mind? Someone here is saying like this. Yeah. Spiral circle. This is a good representation of the human mind at present. Now, this is what we communicate to others. We can even make nice, coherent, sensible sentences, but this comes through on all the other levels. Now, if one person is like this, communicating with someone else, and the other person is also like this, communicating back, what will happen? The whole thing gets tangled up. Now, isn't that what we're seeing in the world today? Simplified, but isn't this what we're seeing in relationships even? In society even? Big meetings and big leaders meeting. This is what it look like sometimes. Even feel like. And often, even the words can be very nice and politically correct. But nothing gets done, nothing happens, because underneath there are different currents. Now, can we change this? Someone here is saying that's why I'm here. Of course, we can change this. But the problem is we many times wish and want others to change. But we can only change this for ourselves. And because we change it for ourselves, our communication or our interaction towards others can become of a different quality. And then we can inspire them or impact them to also untangle the, I don't even know how to call it, the clutter. That's a good word, the clutter inside. And just to give a little bit of a background of this whole concept of mind, we think of ourselves as human beings, isn't it? I hope so. Everyone, we are human beings. You may not necessarily look like that, but symbolic human being. But this word has two words, human and being. And this is very interesting because we do not often realize this. The human part is the physical body, the physical appearance, the human personality, and the things around. People, your home or the apartment or your country or your nationality, your possessions, your position, all the things around you. This is the human part. But the being is invisible. And the being is the one who is giving life to the body, the being of consciousness. And the mind is part of the being, the soul or the spirit, are different words used for the being. And the mind is a faculty of the being, just like heart and lungs and stomach and kidneys and brain, that makes the body function. But the being of consciousness, mind, is one of the faculties that makes the being function. And the mind, what is the innate, what is the word? Function of the mind? The mind is where thoughts are created. And thoughts are seeds for your words. Your thoughts are the seeds for your feelings. Thoughts are the seed of your actions. So in the mind, all these mental processes take place. And then we use the body to manifest that. No, so thoughts are there, but to speak, you need a mouth. So in the mind, all of these things happen, but there are deeper functions in the mind also. Your sense of identity also is in the mind. No, you think of yourself as a human or as a male or a female. You don't think of yourself as a dog, for example, or a cat. It is in your almost like subconscious mind, your sense of identity. It is in your subconscious that you are in America, for those who are joining from America. For those here, it is in our subconscious that we're in New York. I'm not consciously thinking all the time, I'm in America, I'm in America, or I'm in New York, but it is in your mind, a sense of where you are, who you are, what time it is. All of those are functions, more subtle functions. And this happens in the mind. And all this is energy that we communicate, energy that we put out. So, and the quality of what we put out, that impacts others, but it also impacts ourselves. If the whole day you're thinking like this, how do you feel at the end of the day? Exhausted. Exhausted. So who is the first one who is suffering from this mind going like this? Well, I myself first, and then those around me. One time we were visiting, on the way to a program, we were visiting some friend, and she was married into, this is in England, in aristocracy. Her husband is from the aristocratic background, so there's like a huge palace they live in, and they have servants, and and her husband, brilliant and what is it, of high class. So we went to visit her. And she has two children, boys. They are also brilliant, intelligent. They study in the top university. She has everything what you think every person could have and aspire would want in life. So we were there about 25 minutes. And the whole time she was complaining about this, about that, about this and the other, and husband and weather and whatever, anything and everything complaining. So after 25 minutes when we left, kind of relieved. I mean, she's nice and it was a nice environment, but this all the time, complaining. But when when we left there, the thought came, we can leave. She has to be with herself 24/7. Now we went to the program, and in the program on the side, there was a boy of 17 years old. He was paralyzed from the neck down in a wheelchair. But his eyes were glittering the whole time. And there was a big smile on his face the whole time. And after the lecture, he comes up to us and he says, life is a miracle. And every day is a gift from God. And it was in such contrast with the lady we were visiting. Look at him, 17 years old, paralyzed. What is his future? And look at her. And he is so, positive, inspiring, grateful for every day he has. Now, which one of the two you think would have more friends who want to be with them? Most probably the boy. She might know many more people, but which one of the two will have a deeper sense of contentment and fulfillment? The boy. Now, so this is what I'm wanting to say. The state of your mind has to do, the state of your mind, you are the first one who is impacted by that. It impacts your life. Now, if in your mind you have always benevolent and good wishes for every situation, for everyone, how will you feel? Relaxed? Light? Light? Now, is it possible to always have good wishes? No? No? Sometimes? Yes? Some on Zoom are saying yes. Why not? Anyone can give me a reason? Why would it not be possible to have good wishes in every situation? It feels fake. Yeah. Fake, that is not the area that we're trying to explore. We can pretend, of course. Then that gets communicated. And we will feel inside like hypocrites. We don't want that either. In which context do we have good wishes for people? Anyone has observed within yourself? We just had such a holiday season. Did you have good wishes? Plenty good wishes. Why? When you love the people around you. Mhm. Is it possible to love everyone? No. It was very definite. No. Why not? Hmm? Our differences? Very good. No, I mean, there is sometimes we may not want to say certain things, but this is meant for us to reflect a bit deeper on things. And we are, in many ways, we are programmed to think in certain ways. We are different, so I cannot like you. But when you this in the world today, it is such a small world these days. Are people, in essence, truly different? No. Equally quick, she says no. So this is very good too. Wherever you go, people want to be peaceful. Wherever you go, people want to be happy. Wherever you go, people want to be loved. Wherever you go, people want to be safe. Wherever you go, people want to be, what is it? What is the word? Have access to their, what is the word? What they need. They certain level of physical comfort and prosperity. Deeper inside, we are not very different. Yes, we are different in the way we express ourselves, in our language, in our cultural, in our habits. But inside, most people want the same kind of things. Maybe if we look at that, we will discover that we are not really so different at the level of the being. This part, we may be very different. But at the level of the soul, we are very similar. And when we begin to realize that, we might feel more empathy and sympathy for each other and compassion. And if we look at this level and perceive at this level, we might even begin to feel a deeper sense of connection and a deeper sense of family with everyone. Now we are all souls, spiritual beings, in bodies playing our parts, but the essence of our being. Maybe we are brothers, but we got trapped and lost in this. We got trapped and lost in this. We got trapped and lost in the differences. And then we create all kinds of demands and expectations on each other, or we feel threatened. And we fight with each other because you are from that religion and I am from this religion, or you are from that country and I am from this country. We look at each other through the lens of differences instead of looking at each other to our similarities. And then we start giving sorrow and taking sorrow and giving sorrow and taking sorrow, and we end up destroying ourselves and each other. And then we can sit and fake some good wishes or pretend some nice negotiations, and in the UN we try to have meetings and make all kinds of agreements with down the line nobody really implements. But that is not really what deeper inside we would like. And so to come to this, what is it, this silent, well-wishing state. This silent state of having benevolent thoughts and feelings for everyone. We would have to come back to this soul perspective and this soul vision and this soul identity. Understanding myself as a spiritual being in a physical form, but everyone else also is a spiritual being in a physical form. And that spiritual being is my brother. And if we can reach that level, then our thoughts and our feelings can be authentic, not fake. And when those thoughts and feelings become authentic and clean, our mind will be very different from this. And our vibe towards others will be pleasant, will be uplifting, will be of lightness, will be of peace. And when I can do that consistently, my life will be different. And when we collectively can do that consistently, then CNN will be out of work. But not only CNN, Al Jazeera and all of them. Or they will just have good news to share. Because our differences actually, they are, what is the word? They are meant to enrich each other. Our differences are not meant for us to be at war. Our differences are meant to entertain each other. Your food is like this, my food is like this. Your music is like this, my music is like that. Your religion has these practices, my religion has these practices. We can learn and be enriched by each other. But if we are not touching base with this essence and this connectedness at the spiritual level, then we identify with these differences. And then we expect you should be like me. And if you're not like me, then you should go. So this silent power of well-wishing comes from this, what is it, this foundation of, or this essence in my consciousness where I experience myself as a spiritual being, just like you. A being of consciousness, a being of light, a being who has a mind, a being who innately is peaceful and wants peace. A being who innately is loving and wants to love and be loving and loved. A being who wants to be happy and wants to share happiness and wants to see others happy. And then we can look at the body and see, okay, your skin color and your gender and your religion and your social status and your job, that is variety. But this is where we are connected. All. And this is one of the privileges of the time. Many of us, we can travel. We can travel all over. And when we travel all over, then we are enlightened and entertained by the differences in countries and culture and nature and everything. But you will also meet people and see that deep down, we are same. Everyone just wants to live peaceful, have their family, get their kids through school, and want to have food. Whether you go to Africa, whether you go to Asia, whether you go to the Middle East, whether you go to Europe, whether you go to America or South America, same things. And when we come back to this awareness of the self as a spiritual being, when we become soul conscious again, then we can appreciate the broader, what would be the word, the drama of human life, the variety that is there. But we approach it from a place of knowing self and of deeper sense of security and love. And then the existence of another doesn't make us feel threatened. But a world like that begins where? It begins here, yes. What is his name again? One of the UN Secretary Generals who used to say, war is created in the minds of men. Peace also. So is my mind, or am I cultivating a mind that is benevolent? A mind that has this, am I cultivating this awareness of universal brotherhood as souls? Yeah, very good. And this is what a spiritual journey is all about. Reminding myself of these spiritual truths, reflecting on them deeply, practicing them. You want to say anything? Ask anything? Silence. Let's do a practice, each one of us, at this moment in time. So think of someone you love. Someone you love. You think of that person and you concentrate on that person, and then go beyond the physical form and the physical characteristics, and remind yourself, and in your mind remind that person also that they are a spiritual being, a soul who transcends all these bodily characteristics, but with peace, with love, with appreciation. So in your mind, just think of that one person. Maybe even see their physical form on the screen of your mind. And feel those feelings that you carry for that person. It's almost as if you're sending those feelings and that energy to that person. And now remind yourself, and in your mind remind the other also, that they are not just that human part, the body and the physical material things around, but that they are a spiritual being, an invisible experiencer, a soul, a being of consciousness who is beyond gender, beyond religion, beyond body, a soul. A being who is innately peace-loving. A being who likes joy and contentment and love. And remind yourself and remind that person you are a spiritual being, temporarily in that human form. You are my soul brother. And there is an eternal connection from soul to soul. Thank you. So how did you feel when you were doing this practice? Peaceful? Peaceful. Good. Just observing, because you were actively generating good wishes or good feelings or good thoughts, thinking about someone, that sending as if almost that energy, but your mind is focused and peaceful. Now, anyone else want to say anything? What did you observe? Maybe you just need to digest this a little bit more. We are not used to doing this, no? We used to take our phone and talk or whatever, but you can also communicate like this. And you might feel much better than just talking on the phone, whatever, chatter sometimes or gossip. Now, this is a notch upwards. Now you think of someone who maybe you're not so much like. Yvette is smiling. A little notch upward. You think of someone maybe where there's some form of resistance inside. And try and do the same. You are in your mind, you see this, but you go beyond. And as if see through that and see the being who is also looking for peace, also looking for love and for happiness. That being is my brother. Shall we try? And initially, you might not feel so peaceful thinking about them, but try to go beyond and try and realize they are also spiritual being, just like me. Thank you. These are some simple experiments, but these are experiments in silent, well-wishing, silent generation of benevolent thoughts and feelings. And more you experiment, you will feel the power of this. And this is your power. This is your mental power. But we need to train this power. And more you experiment with this, you will see wonders. We haven't explored this dimension of life much, if at all. And whilst you're doing this, your mind becomes more calm. Your mind becomes more peaceful. And if you are doing this the whole day, at the end of the day, you will feel proud of yourself. You will feel good about yourself. Even maybe nothing physically may have materialized, but you will have a sense of, what is it? Self-respect, accomplishment for yourself also. But if you are putting out all this positive energy, sooner or later that will come back to you. Maybe not of the one who you were thinking of, somewhere else maybe, but it is sure to come back also. But we don't do it for that. But it sooner or later will come back. This is an area of our life and of our existence that we haven't explored very much. The power of our thoughts, the power of benevolent thoughts, the power of benevolent intention. And in the world today, we are kind of taught and trained that, you have to study hard, or you have to have a good job, you have to make money, you have to build assets and possessions and positions, and then you will be happy. Then maybe you can influence others. But our true power to influence and to create a life of accomplishment or some dignity and some satisfaction, that power we have not explored. And that is the power of our own mind and of our own thoughts. And so this is an invitation for all of you to either start exploring or deepen your explorations, because I know many of you have been on this journey for a while already, and deepen them. And meditation, of course, is one way to to develop the power of your mind and to understand a broader perspective more. Spiritual studies, but these little experiments you can do for yourself. But we have to remind ourselves of this, because no one around us generally reminds us of these things. There doesn't pop up on your Facebook. Have benevolent intentions for everyone. But so you have to create in your life reminders. And this is one reason why this center is here, where we can help and inspire each other to explore more and more this area. Anyone want to ask or say anything? And we do this this exercise one more time, but now you do it just for yourself. In your mind, you see the human form and the things around the human form, but you consciously remind yourself that you are a spiritual being, a being of light, a being of peace, a guest in this body, a guest on this planet, living light, like a tiny star, free, pure, innocent, timeless, invisible experiencer. Child of the divine. Thank you. Thank you for your attention, your concentration, your participation, and maybe some last comment. This weekend, there is a 2-day meditation course, but it is an online meditation course. We do every month, one is online and the next one is in person. So but if you have interest, you just go on the website and you find the 2-day meditation course, Saturday and Sunday, online.
It will be from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. And the aim of this short meditation course is to attempt to discover our higher potential by exploring our higher consciousness, the spiritually awakened state. It will help learn to meditate and practice everything that we heard here in this class, how to connect with our internal self.
Mm.
So also these classes, these lectures are recorded and posted on Facebook and YouTube if you want to go back and listen to it.
Mm.
And there is also at the Meditation Center on Facebook, Power Boost. It's a short talk with a meditation practice, and it happens every day from Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:15, which are also recorded on Facebook and YouTube.
This is also online. It is a what is it? Yeah, online, Facebook and YouTube, Power Boost Lunchtime Meditation. So every day it is a different topic, short talk and a meditation. But it stays there. So you could also go at a later time. On weekdays, working days, it is there. It's a good way to just break your day, so morning and then at 12, take some minutes and then. So many tools to help you.
And also from Monday through Thursday, if you are close by the center, you can come drop in the afternoon, in the evening from 6 to 6:30 and come to the meditation room upstairs and sit in meditation. There are music, we play soft music and some meditation commentary for you and for your friends, whoever you want to invite.
And let's close with a minute of silence.